back for another session. Today's session is called Setting Up an Online Store. And to take that, we have a very special Tinker Champ with us today. Please welcome Shri Raksha Prabhakaran. Without any further ado, I'd like to invite her over. Over to you, Shri.
Thank you. I'll just present my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you for the introduction, by the way. Ladies, gentlemen, entrepreneurs, and dreamers, welcome to another Handhold Me session of Tinkerpreneur 2024, where we will dive into an exciting world of creating your own online store. Today, we are embarking on a journey together to a new place and time where the digital world meets the entrepreneurial skills. Imagine not only reaching your local customers, but also the global market, breaking all barriers. I hope this session will be a springboard into the world of e-commerce. And also, I've read few comments in the previous sessions asking about how are you going to sell it. So this session is going to be for all of you. Because as you might think, the possibilities are endless in today's business world. Stay tuned. Firstly, you would have heard this name a lot of times, Tinker Champs, right? So who are we exactly? As you would have already known and heard, Tinker Champs are budding change makers who drive their own student-led initiatives such as peer mentoring, workshops, maker fairs, e-learning resources, and our very own entrepreneurship kit called the BizBox. But I would also like to add that the working environment at Tinker Champs is really healthy. And trust me when I say this, we have built friendships with people all around the country. A little detail about me. So I am Sri Raksha Prabhakaran and I've just passed out 12th from FO School Hebbal, Bangalore. I was also part of the change making initiative called Urban Grow, which is a vertical farming kit fully automated, and that was also presented in the National Technology Week 2023. I've also been part of Hand On Me sessions for the previous year, that is Tinkerpreneur 2023. And also, I have secured a zonal rank in International Commerce Olympiad, and I have organized several boot camps and workshops in my school ATL. Without further ado, let us continue our session. So, firstly, in the past few weeks, you guys started off your journey by acquiring digital skills. And then using those digital skills, you guys built your own product or service. And moving on, you refined those products into the best versions you could make of yourself. And then finally, you also created a business model, understood different business models, and made your own business website ready, and also filled your BMCs, that is business model canvas. And later on, you went on to create your own brand with your logo, branding, marketing messages, and also you prepared your own flyers and posters. And finally, in the previous week, you learned a little bit much about business finance, such as payables, revenue, and also accounting reports, and many more. Now, what is next? And to answer that, I bring to you the different types of sales channel. What are these sales channels? So basically, sales channels are those mediums through which you're going to sell your product to the customers. And there are any number of sales channels in this world, let it be online or offline. In the past few, you need to set up a sales channel to sell your digital product or services. And also to go on with, first is offline sales channel. What are those? Those are the shops, marts, or any business that you go visit directly, purchase your product or service, and collect the bill and come back home. I feel all of us have at least once gone to an offline sales channel, such as a retail store or even a small grocery shop. You can see many such examples like garment shop, restaurants, and etc. The advantage you have of offline sales channel is that you can see your product or service, touch them, feel them, and then go buy it. Now, coming to the most important aspect of our session today, this online sales channels. It includes all your online shopping websites, mobile applications like Amazon, Zepto, Blinkit, etc., where you just relax and sit at your home at your own pace and order your necessary products and wait for them to get delivered. The advantage of these online sales channels are that you can access them anytime, anywhere. They're not time constrained nor place constrained. Imagine, can you go at 3 o'clock at midnight to a retail store and purchase something? Definitely not. But then when you have an online sales channel, you definitely can at any time, even sitting at your home or far away, maybe you're in, say, example, Bangalore, and you want to get things delivered to Delhi. So you can just select their address and get it delivered. That is an advantage of an online sales channel. Also, these channels provide mobility. What is mobility? That is, they can travel at your distance, they are movable. Whereas in offline sales channel, you have to go travel. There'll be transportation, and what if you have to find the best variety of something which is not available at your place? There comes the role of online sales channels. And moving towards the digital era, most of us prefer to order online as we all don't have much time to go visit an offline shop. I hope you understood the difference between the online sales channel and offline sales channel. In short, offline sales channels are those physical stores which you go visit and purchase directly, whereas online sales channels are those shops you find in your mobile or website or anything which you can directly access from your place at your convenience and get them delivered. Moving on, we are talking about sales channels and what are online and offline sales channel. But what is selling? So, selling involves an exchange of transactions between a product or service for money between a buyer and a seller. Let me get to you in simpler terms. So it is just a process where a seller, for example, I am an entrepreneur or a shopkeeper. I will say, for example, this water bottle. So this water bottle, I'm selling it to you in return for money. That is, you are my buyer, and then you will purchase this. So this complete transaction together is called selling. And selling can be both for products or services. Need not only these products. Say, for example, you're booking an hair salon appointment or you're getting someone to come and clean your house. So, all these are part of selling where they provide you a service or a product, and in return, you give them money. Also, moving towards a society where we are based on customer and social welfare, the focus on selling is always on the benefit of the customer and what's good for society. And this concept is what is emerging, that is, social welfare and customer need based society. So, if all of us are going to sell our own products, our major focus must be the needs and also the perspectives of our customers. I hope that you have understood what a selling actually means. So, moving on, we have learned what a selling is. We have learned there are two types of channels of selling, that is online and offline. To further elaborate more about online and offline sales channels, let us go through these various ways of selling or different channels underneath the online and offline, namely retail stores, social media platforms, online stores, mobile applications, voice assistants, and online marketplace. Firstly, let us go on from selling from a retail store. So, I guess all of us would have definitely visited a retail store. What is a retail store? It is a physical location where customers can go to purchase goods and services directly from the seller. So, firstly, what exactly it is? So, it is an offline sales channel, like I've already told you. And for understanding it in more depth, maybe take an example or recollect your experience to a grocery shop, which would have gone with your parents or grandparents. So, you would go visit the shop, you would choose maybe, say, vegetables or the things, necessities which you want to purchase. You choose them by touching, feeling like, they say vegetables need to be in this consistency and things, so you choose them, you give it to the shopkeeper, then he prints a bill for you, gives you the bill, and then you pay the money and you come back home. So you go from home to the shop, purchase whatever you needed, make the payment, and come back home. This whole thing is an example of selling from a retail store. So I hope that is clear. Please put a thumbs up in the chat box if you have understood what selling from a retail store means. Moving on, selling from mobile apps. So let us understand how this actually works. It refers to the process of selling products or services directly through mobile applications. How many of you use Uber and Ola? Put a thumbs up or raise your hands in the chat box. So I feel most of us, right, almost all of us would have traveled somewhere or the other using Ola or Uber. So these are the examples of selling a service on mobile apps. So basically what happens in these Uber or Ola apps is they connect you to an auto or cab driver and in turn earn commission for the same. So they provide you transportation services and also provide those cab drivers, customers or clients for them to earn their livelihood, and they do all this just through a mobile application. They might have their own office setups, but have you ever seen that you'll go to an office and then you say, like an Uber office, you say that book me a cab or something? Definitely not. So all this happens through just their mobile application which you downloaded from Play Store. And can you believe how fast the technology is improving, that you just have one mobile and you can get your auto or cab service at your own place? So I hope this is also clear. And if any doubts, please put it in the chat box. And at the end of the session, we'll be taking the doubts. Next one, which is kind of very, very fast paced. And I feel all of us are there in one or the either of the social medias, right? So what does selling on social media exactly mean? So it actually means where you use social media applications, say Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or now recently which has launched, that's WhatsApp channels. So all these channels of selling, you use them to promote and sell your products or services directly to people. So imagine an influencer, your favorite influencer, coming and promoting a product, saying, and maybe like a dishwasher or like a makeup product, saying that, this is very nice. You would actually tend to go buy it. And also, we would have seen a lot of Instagram pages where they put a product, say, for example, the same water bottle. So they can customize it. They're going to add your name and then they're going to put it in the post saying that DM for price or comment price to get the price in your DMs. Or for example, they just put a link in the bio where you can click, go add the cart, add the product to your cart and directly get it delivered. So that is an example of selling on social media. And selling on social media, one advantage that you feel now is that everyone has social media. You will get a greater reach when you start using social media applications to sell your own product, because all of us are there on social media, and one or the other time we would definitely go visit the social media. So I hope that is clear. Let me just recap once so that you guys are clear enough. So we started off with selling from a retail store, which is a physical store where you go and purchase goods directly. Examples are garment shops, grocery stores, or even, say appointments where you go get, or restaurants. So all this is from selling from a retail store. Moving on, selling on mobile apps. So we covered various things like how, Uber, Ola, we order it. They do not need to have a physical existence, where they can just be a mobile application and they can just connect you and the product. And then finally, we moved on to social media platforms, where we covered about Instagram, how people, like sell their product, or WhatsApp services like WhatsApp channels, where they're going to create a channel. They're going to say, this saree is this rate. If you want to purchase, please DMS or something like that. And also selling on Facebook Marketplace. So Facebook has its own marketplace where, it allows the sellers to, publish their products and also allows the customers to purchase them. So those are examples of selling on social media platform. Now coming to the another most advanced way of selling, that is through voice assistants. All of us have, right, in a mobile Google this thing, or say Alexa, or maybe Siri. So all these are voice assistants, right? All of us know what voice assistants are. So one feature which voice assistant give is that you can purchase anything through voice assistants. Like, see, it actually helps our customers to order products or get more information regarding the same. Maybe you can take your phone and say, Alexa, please book me an Uber cab. So it will open Uber and at least like show you where to book. That is one example. Or you can say that, maybe Siri, please order a deluxe pizza from Domino's or Pizza Hut. So that is another example of selling through voice notes. So voice AI is the most advanced way of selling, which is very improving now. And one advantage is that you can also get many details in that. You can just say, Alexa, compare which pizza is better, Domino's or Pizza Hut, and then it will give you the results, and then you can go through and then select the same. So that is selling through voice assistant. And finally, coming to the most important part, that is selling on an online store. So, what is an online store basically? As the name suggests, it's online. That means it does not have a physical existence, or does not have the need to have a physical existence. You can have an office setup, right? Saying that you work on it, but you still do not have a shop or a store where people come and purchase. So, that is an online store. So it is actually an e-commerce. What is e-commerce? Like selling through internet, right? So that is an e-commerce store or a website where businesses or store owners or shopkeepers sell their products or services over the internet. And customers can, as customers, we would like to see what and all is there. So we go through the store's offerings, we see if any discount is there, and then these sales come, right? A year of end sale, and then we go through that, we add items to the cart and make purchases online. So that is the concept of online store. That is, you do not need to have a physical existence, and it is a business over the internet where you can sell your products or services. And few examples are Blinkit and Big Basket. So online stores is just one particular owner. Say in Blinkit, right? There's only one person or the one major owner, like one seller, who is going to sell you products. Like in 10 minutes delivery you get. So you choose maybe say groceries or like paneer or something, and then you click on that, and then they'll come and deliver at your doorstep. That is selling on online store. And Big Basket is another example. How many of us have like seen, Shah Rukh Khan's and ads of Big Basket promoting that, order from Big Basket, get it delivered in a day or something. So those are examples of online store. Moving on, we have online marketplace. So many of us might get confused between an online store and an online marketplace. So let me tell you a difference. In online store, there's going to be only one seller mostly. Right. There'll be many customers applying, but there'll be only one seller who's going to sell you. Whereas in online marketplace, there will be multiple sellers. So what is the advantage if we have multiple sellers? As customers, we can go through different same product but by different sellers, and we can choose a best offering. Like suppose you're going to buy an ebook or normal book, physical book, right, in Amazon for example. So if you're going to buy your class 10th maths textbook, so you're going to have like first seller who's going to sell it for 500, next seller who's going to sell it for 600, and then the third seller who's going to sell it for 300. And also there are ratings, right? 4.8, 4.4, 4.6. So you can choose your best offering through marketplaces. So, what is a marketplace? It is a platform where multiple sellers can list and sell their products or services to customers. And what are the few examples we see in our daily life? Amazon, Flipkart, Pepperfry, and Google Play. How is Google Play Store coming here? You do have options, right? Suppose if you click social media, okay, so you're going to have Instagram, Facebook, and all other things. So they give you a list of options where there are going to be many sellers, and then you can choose one. So that is an online marketplace. So I let me just recap the difference between online store and online marketplace. So online store is just going to have one seller who's going to sell, who's going to have their own website and sell their service or product. Whereas in online marketplace, there are going to be multiple sellers where you get an option to choose, right? So, you call it in an online store, you call it like monopoly control. That is one seller who's going to control it. But whereas in online market place, it's going to be a competition between the sellers. That was online store and online marketplace. And also to have one more recap, we also went through voice assistants like Amazon Alexa and also Google Home. So I hope all of you understood the different channels of selling. So there were a retail store, there was like mobile application, there was online store, online marketplace, and also voice assistants, right? And also the last one was social media. Now moving on, we understood what are the different channels or different types of how things work. But let us focus on how, being the customer always, we have just seen that, okay, we'll click on this, we will add the product to the cart, and then we will buy it, right? And then we make the payment and it comes to our house. But what is the behind the scenes or back steps of how this whole process works? So, for example, let us say in our Tinkerpreneur, right? And I am an entrepreneur who is going to sell ebooks, which I've created. So, what will I do? First, I'm the store owner or the entrepreneur. So, I'm going to set up the online store with the products for sale. For example, ebook on maths, ebook for novels, and then I have 3, 4 ebooks ready. So, I'm going to set up my online store and add those products. And suppose all of you are my customers. I will share the link. You will go through those products, like you will view the product catalog. Okay, there's also an ebook on maths, an ebook on novels, ebook on science. You go through these, and then you find that no, maths I have understood, so I'll just pick the ebook on science. You will select the product to buy. And then after you select the product, because it's an online store, you will make the payment and place the order. Either you can select cash on delivery option or make online payment and also place the order. And after you place the order, I will get the order details. Like I'll get a notification saying ABC ordered your product or say ebook on science. Okay, so I open that. I will review if the order is placed, and I'll also check if the payment is received or if the payment has been chosen by cash on delivery. I will go through that, review the order, and then give access to my digital product. Digital product in this example, say the ebook. So I'm going to give access to you and send the product by email. Maybe I might send you a drive link, or I might send the product itself as a PDF. And then as customer, what will you do? You will view the mail and then download the ebook, or you will just view it through the online PDF. So that is how the behind the scenes, or the whole process of online store works. Let me again repeat it in very short lines, right? So first one, me being the entrepreneur, I'm going to set up the online store using a website or a mobile application, and then I'm going to add those products which I've created for sale. Next, as you are the customer, you're going to view the product, select one product to buy, and go through everything, select one product to buy. And thirdly, you're going to make the payment and place the order. Or you can also choose cash on delivery and place the order. And next, when you go fourth step is that me being the store owner, I will get the order. I will review if everything is correct. I will review your email IDs, which you're going to give because I have to send you the product, right? And then I will see if the payment is received or if the payment is given cash on delivery, and then how do I go about it. And finally, I will give access to my ebook or digital product and send it through your mails. And finally, you will receive the product and view it. This again is an whole flow of how the online store works. I hope all of you understood. Put a thumbs up in the chat window. I hope we can move on. So firstly, we learned the whole flow, but how to go about it as the future entrepreneurs or the tinkerpreneurs who are going to have their own business running. So the first step which we are going to do is to go through the digital tools which you can set up your own online store. So I'm going to introduce you to two digital tools. One is the Equid Store Creator tool, which is a purely website based tool, and the second one is the Dukan app. So, Dukan app is a mobile application where you can create your own online store. And also, as a person who has already used Equid and Dukan app, you can create your own online store very easily within around 15 to 20 minutes of your time. So, it's not going to be time consuming or complex. So, these two tools will be using further. Next, you have set up your own online store. How are you going to go about like selling your own digital product using your online store? So first one will cover the web-based, right? So web-based, we're going to use a tool called Equid. So Equid has two options which you can do. First one is going to be all of you have created your business website, right? So put a thumbs up or put a yes in the chat box. So yeah, I hope all of you have like created your own business website. In that only, you can just add a buy now button from Equid. So you go to Equid, add your products, and then embed one text into your Google site where you've created your business website with product details. And once you do that, in your own Google site or your business website, you can allow the customers to buy the products. So that is integrated online store. And the next one going through is the independent online store. So the other option is that you go to Equid, you create your own online store using fully Equid. So it's just going to be an Equid link. Whereas in this the integrated online store, you're going to have your own business website through Google sites which you have created, and just add a buy now button. But an independent online store, you're going to create your own online store by using Equid, adding your products, setting up your theme and everything else. I hope this is clear. So this is one way which has two options. Moving on further, we have another way, that is selling your digital product using the Dukan app. Just a minute. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. So the second one is selling your digital product using the Dukan app. Like I said, it's a mobile application. So it is very simple to use. You will download the application, you will add your products, and then first you will log in, you will add the products and send the link to your customers. So they can just click on it, order your book, and then you will get your notification that they have ordered your digital product, say your ebook or your digital service. So this is another way. So again, let me repeat. First, we have two digital tools to set up. One is Equid, one more is Dukan. And then in Equid, you have two options where you can integrate it with your online store, business store, which you have already created business website, which has your product details, your business details, everything. Or you can set up your own independent online store. And then the second option is selling your digital product using your Dukan app. So you download Dukan app from Play Store, you log in, you add your products, and then you send the link so that the customers can order it. So I hope all of you have understood this. Moving on, the major important part, right? So how are you going to accept payments from your customers? So this is one aspect which is very, very important. And I would also like to highlight that please keep your digital products or service private. Like, do not give it to everyone, because give it only to the customers who have completed the payment, like who have ordered your product and completed the payment. That's when your value will be there, right? So do not keep your product or service public. Make sure that it is private, right? So how do we accept payments? In Equid tool, so it actually allows you to accept payments from customers through mobile wallets, credit and debit cards, UPI, and by default it provides COD option, that is cash on delivery. So we would recommend you to provide cash on delivery option itself, because if you're going to go through online payments, you will have to create your own uh, uh, what do you say, account, and then you have to create register in a payment gateway, and then you mostly payment gateways are like for adults, right? 18 plus major ones. So it's going to be a whole long process where you do that. You click on it and then you have to enter a key and then this thing. So it's fully complex. So we would suggest you that put on cash on delivery option, which is very easy. And then, in your product details only, you can put your UPI number or say QR code, right? You can put it there, say that make the payment to this with your email ID mentioned. So once they make a payment, you will get it in your UPI of your parents or something, and then you will get that so much paid, and then like their email ID, so that you can confirm the order and the payment part and then send them access. So it is a personal choice if you want to go for online, but we would recommend and suggest you to stick on to cash on delivery option, because it is easier, and also you will directly receive it through your UPI if you add your QR code or mobile number at the end of your product details. I hope that is clear. Please put a thumbs up. Yeah, sure. I guess that is clear. And by that, we are moving towards the end of the session where we learned concepts. So now let us discuss what you're going to submit as your assignment, right? So there are 4 steps. So first one is that you have to have your business details ready, which I hope you would have already done in the previous sessions. Second one is create your product details, which you already know because you've created your own business details. Third one is identify your product cost and coming up with selling price. This we will discuss in more detail. And fourth one is like set up your own web based online store or mobile based, like web based using Equid or mobile based using Dukan. Okay, so let us go through these. So first one is having your business details ready. So what and all do you need? Obviously, you would have created a logo for your business, a colorful, eye-catching logo, and then you would have your business name, brand name, what is the tagline, and then marketing message. In this example, you can see the brand name is Virtuality 360, and then they have a tagline called Democratizing Travel, and then Experience the World Virtually. So you have all this ready because when you create your store or say mobile app, you'll have to add these details and like promote your uh, website or online business. And the next step is to have your product details ready. So all of you would have gone through, building your product, refining your product, and BMC board. I mean, business model canvas. So in this, what exactly is that you have to have like what is the name of your product, one line summary, like what your product actually does or provides to the customer. And also you can have product description, like what and all is happening. So this is having your product details ready. And then the next step is step 2B, where you have product features. Again, you would have already have it, but then you have to like just have it together so that you know the flow, how it works. So features, like you already know, are very, very important characteristics or functionality of your product that will tell your customers that, if you purchase a product or service, you will get this benefit. Like if you purchase an ebook on mathematics, say the feature is that it will make your mathematic concepts very stronger, you will understand it, and you'll also have some tricks and tips which you can do it. So those are your product features. There's also an example on the stage which you can go through, like see for example features of London 360. So one is that voice based tour guide for every tourist spot, right? So moving on, step 3A. Like I told, let us discuss this more in little detail, right? So identify the cost of your product. So how are you going to identify? Given that you guys are building your own digital products, you can have this as imaginary figures like discussed in the previous session. So you can just have a table like where and all you're spending, or if you're going to purchase any Wix premium, I mean Equid premium, sorry, Equid premium or any other features which are going to add or enhance your product, so whatever was cost, you can add this. So what is the rate, how much you purchased, and the amount. So after everything, you will get a total product cost. Or if you have not purchased anything, it is fine. So you can just have imaginary figures and have your total product cost, right? So what is product cost? So cost of your product is the total amount spent in building your product. So that is like, the cost product. And why is this important is because you should know how much you have spent before collecting the like income, like before charging your product at certain price. You should know why you have charged it at certain price, right? So in this example we can see that, suppose they've just had cost of labor, so your effort, so rupees 250 per hour, and then you're utilize 20 hours, so you'll get rupees 5,000. So that was total product cost. And then in this 20 hours you've created 10 copies of your digital product. So if you divide it, you will get rupees 500 for each copy. So the product cost or like cost of your product will be rupees 500 for one copy, right? So moving on from that, like keep it in mind, so you will get add up all your expenses or like wherever you've spent, and then you will come to a conclusion like your efforts, and then you will get rupees 500. Next, with this we are going to find out the selling price. So what is the selling price? So it is the price at which you sell your product or service to your customer. So cost price is how you made the product or acquired the product, and selling price is how you're going to sell it, how much you're going to sell it. So one example which is given is that cost plus pricing example. So there are different techniques, right? Cost plus pricing, competitive pricing, value based, price skimming, penetration, dynamic. So in this one example is cost plus pricing. So how much did we spend on one copy there? It was rupees 500, right? So then you add a profit margin, say 25%. So 25% of 500 will be 125. So you will add that. And then tax, like discussed in the previous session, it is not much importance. But then when you actually start selling, if you have to pay tax, which is mostly 18%, you'll get 90 rupees. So the selling price of your product will be rupees 715. Right. So you can increase your profit margin as well. If you keep 50%, you get 250. Right. So it will increase more by 840 rupees, for example. So that will be your selling price. I hope that is clear. Let me repeat it again for your convenience. First one is that you identify the cost of your product. That is, you find out where and all you have spent, and mostly it is going to be cost of labor. That is your effort, how much you have spent, right? And then that in our example is rupees 500. And then moving on, we got that with that 500, we have added a profit margin. It can be 25%, that is 125, or 50%, which is 250 rupees. And then you also add tax. And overall, what you get is the selling price of your product. That is what is going to be put on your website for the customers to buy. All right. I hope that's clear. Please put a thumbs up. And if any questions, please do put it in the chat box. Next one. Excuse me. So the most important aspect of a session that which we have already learned, but yeah, set up a web-based online store. So you can either have integrated online store like discussed, of business website where you're going to just add a buy now button, or you're going to set up an independent online store where with Equid you're going to design how your online store is going to look like. They can enter it and then purchase it. Any one you can do, which is more than sufficient, whichever is convenient for you. And then the next one is, if you do not want to have an online website, you can have a mobile based online application. So for that, we are going to use Dukan app. So we are going to download, log in, add the products, and then send the link where the customers can purchase it. So I hope this is also clear. And then finally, let me, before we come to tips and suggestions, let me again go through what you have to submit. So firstly, you have to have your business details ready, brand name, brand logo, tagline, marketing messages, and everything. Second one is going to be have your product details ready, like the product name, product summary, description, and product features, like what it's benefiting for the customer. Because like I said, we are moving towards customer based society or selling, where we focus on customers' needs and preferences. And then the third one is identifying your product cost and coming up with a selling price. So you identify the cost, what you have incurred, to set up your product. And then finally, using that, you're going to add profit margin and tax, and then arrive at the selling price, which you're going to put it in your website or mobile application for selling. And then the last one again is setting up any one, that is web-based online store or mobile-based online store. Web-based, we're going to use Equid. We have two options. And then in mobile-based, we're going to use Dukan app, where it's a mobile application you can download and then add your products, log in, and then send it to your customers. So I hope that it is clear with all of you. And then there are also few tips and suggestions which I would like to highlight. So, there are multiple pricing strategies, like I said already, price skimming, or price skimming, or what we saw, uh, cost plus pricing, and there are many other things. So you can choose the best one according to your product and your business. And second one is that if you're creating an Equid store, or integrating it with your business website, make sure your website is public so that the customers can come view and then buy the products. If you keep private, right, then you'll have to give access to everyone individually, which is a complex task. So you can just have your website, or I mean online store or website, whichever you're preferring, to be public. And then the third one is, like I already said, make sure to keep your digital product. And also, if you're providing any user guide, right, for during refining, if you created any user guide and supporting documents, private. Preferably keep it on a Google Drive, or if you're using any animaker such as tool, so keep it protected by your username and password, so that you could provide it to people only who pay, or complete the whole process of ordering. That was one more tip. And then also I would like to highlight that when a customer places an order for a digital product on the online store, right? So send your customer an email asking them to make payment via UPI or other payment mechanisms. Like you can send your QR code or mobile numbers. So once the customer makes the payment, send them the shareable link or PDF, of your digital product to them. Excuse me. So yeah, this is one thing I would like to say. Like you in Equid you can have on cash on delivery option, but in the payment features you can put it in a red color, or highlighted, saying that please do your payment to so and so number, like 984567, that number. Or you can put your QR code, or you can receive the order and then mail them personally, saying that this is my QR code or this is my UPI ID, please do the payment to receive the digital product. That one. And then also make sure to give access to your digital product only to paying customers, like I already mentioned. And finally, paying customers will then only be able to view or download your digital product. Make sure your digital product is safe and secure to use. And finally, coming at the end, like you have gone through all other sessions, please check out our interesting comic strips, like to check out what's the new story about setting up online store. And also there are flashcards for your revision, and you can solve like a fun puzzle where you can, go through or have a recap of all the terminologies. So I feel with that, we have come to the end of the session. I hope all of you enjoyed. Any doubts, please put it in the YouTube chat window and then we'll answer it. And finally, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Shri. Now we have a couple of questions for you. The first one is, what is the difference between an online store and an online marketplace?
Okay, like I'd already explained, but I would like to repeat that in online store, there's going to be just one seller. Suppose I am going to sell my products, I create my own private online store, and then I'm going to ask all other customers to come visit it and buy it. We have seen examples of Blinkit, right? They don't promote any sellers, they just have their own store. That is an online store. Whereas an online marketplace, like for example, Amazon or Flipkart, you're going to have multiple sellers even with the same products. Suppose you're going to buy an ebook or a normal book or a bottle, so you're going to have many people offering the same product for different prices. So customers will get like options to choose. So that is an online marketplace.
Which payment option to choose, cash of delivery or online payment methods?
Okay, it is actually a personal choice, but then when you click online payment using Equid or like say Dukan, so you'll have to, the people who are going to receive it, right? The sellers, they have to be above 18 because they have to register in a payment gateway. They'll have to get their own bank IDs, which is going to be a complex process. So as they're starting their entrepreneurial journey, I would suggest that let them have cash on delivery option, but then they can have the UPI ID or a QR code in the product description, or they whatever mail ID they're going to receive as order placed, they can send those UPI ID or QR code to their mail so that it's a smoother transaction rather than having your own payment gateway, which is going to be a little complex. So I would suggest prefer cash on delivery.
All right, makes sense. Thank you. Can one business have multiple sales channels?
One business can definitely have multiple sales channels. If you take Amazon, for example, right? So Amazon, there's a mobile application also, and then they also have an online website, a marketplace where people can go buy. So that is one example of that. Or if you take another example of, let's say, Flipkart also follows the same thing. They have mobile application. So it is their own personal choice, but they can start off with one and then start thinking about expansion. Suppose if they're going to sell their ebooks, so they're going to set up their own online store in this process. But then, if needed, they can also go further ahead and then like start off with their say like they can add it to Amazon Kindle. So that also is their own choice. So I would suggest start off with one and then try exploring different options, which because that will also give you exposure to customers.
Right, thank you. Last question for you. Could you
Yeah.
explain more techniques of finding the selling price?
Okay, more techniques. So let me just present my screen for that. Uh, is the screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Just a minute. Okay, I feel you're asking this only, right? Different product pricing techniques, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So there are different types. So first one is value based, right? So this is when like you find products like, if suppose many of them are buying, right? So you find that the value of the product is going high. So many people are preferring towards. So the pricing strategy where you're going to decide the price depending on the value, like how much is it worth for the people. So that is value based pricing. And next one is competitive pricing. So competitive pricing focuses on that suppose I am going to sell a bottle, and then there are also other people sellers who are going to sell the same bottle. So if I'm charging at 500 and then they are charging at 400 and another person 350, so to increase more of orders, I would definitely want to keep my pricing more than less than 350 so that many people purchase it. So that is competitive. And then the next one is price skimming, right? So price skimming is like, first I sell the product, at a high price, and then the price is gradually lowered over time. If you take iPhones, for example, once they're launched, they're at a very high price, like Apple iPhones. Then, the price slowly starts, gradually lowered because there are other new versions coming up. So that is price skimming. And then cost plus pricing, we have already discussed. Like we find out the cost price, add a set profit margin, and then we get the final selling price. And then the next one is penetrating pricing. So what penetrating pricing is like, it is opposite of price skimming. So first in price skimming, we set at high price, then we come to a low price. In penetrating pricing, it's like a new product is sold at a lower price. So you're going to first attract the customers, like, what is this? Like, why is it so cheap? And then when more customers start coming, the prices will start increasing. You can like increase it because your value of the product won't go. People are already dependent on it. So that is penetrating pricing. And then the next one is economy pricing. So this is when, it is like, you're producing one thing, even the cost of production is less, and you're also like, selling it like little in a lower cost. So it is used by many big companies like to keep prices low because they focus more on like quantities they sell rather than, the price. So they're going to focus like how much people are going to buy rather than the price high. So that is economy pricing. And then the dynamic pricing is like where it depends, it is like dynamic in the sense it's like shifting, right? So it depends on various factors like who and all are buying it, where it is being sold, when it is being sold to make the most profit, and all other things. So I hope like that was clear. So yeah, those were different pricing techniques which all of you can try. So that was one thing.
Thank you, Shri. I think that was very descriptive and everybody understood. That brings us to the end of this session. Thank you so much, Shri. It was great to have you conduct today's session. I hope everybody has had a lot of things to learn from you today. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone.